Click the links to join channel here over at Subscribe right now over at Odyssey. So Pokemon Ugly and Fat Special American Edition, where everything has to be fat and ugly so Americans can see themselves in games. No offense if you're an American, please try to be less fat. So what happened is what is happening with everything is everything woke turns to shit. So there's a bunch of little changes here, but when you look at the images, you're like, why would you do something like this? Why would you take something that people enjoy and just suck some of the enjoyment out of it? Because that's what these filthy parasites do. So things will just continue to be uglier, stupid Marxist cancer, where it's all just a one-way journey to globalism, because they have worms in their brains, because they have parasites on their side. These activists, these Twitter activists who have nothing better to do to push this monkeypox ideology. These people sit on Twitter all day. It's like the anti-Comicsgate people. When you look at them, you're like, why are you doing this? There's no money in it for you. It can't. Is it fun? Is it like a dopamine rush for these people who, they go after EVS, and they used to go after Myers and sometimes Yellow Flash and all these other channels. And I just look or Nerdrotic, and I look at them now like, all you have to do is not watch the channels and go outside and live your life. But this is vitally important to them. Anyway, the thing is, nobody was pushing back against all this kind of stuff until recently. Yeah, it's just little pieces that add up to make the torso longer and the waist thicker, into just making them vaguely look like, nothing that you would draw. The thing is, nobody was pushing back against all this kind of stuff until recently. And this video game stuff with Sweet Baby Incorporated, and they're only one of many. There's one called Gamer, Gay, and it's like a Sweet Baby type of thing, where what a grift it is to put yourself on this Frankfurt School hierarchy at the top and go, oh yeah, send us the Anita Sarkeesian, Zoe Quinn's. It's like they got out of the game a little bit too late. It's kind of a bummer for them. So these new groups are all cashing in on it. They're like, send us your games and we'll be, I don't know, the cultural sensitivity readers, and it's $15,000 for us to look over your game. And it's just how pathetic is that? I remember when Anita Sarkeesian was on Twitter, like begging for, send me your games and I can teach you how to make them more feminist or something. It's like, no, I think we tried that cancer for a while. So the Sweet Baby pushback with those guys on social media, that was a great thing, because the Sweet Baby Incorporated detected, I think, was the guy who started keeping track of these games, and that got people's attention, and people started looking at this and going like, yeah, it's probably time to push back against this. So these bullshit woke vermin use this Frankfurt School language of inclusive, diverse, equity, but they never make the argument that those are good things or that they improve things, which, obviously they don't, because people aren't equal to start with. And when did it become a narrative that they are? So many of the things that the cultural Bolsheviks do is they just start with a conclusion via the media or the schools, and there's never an argument. And if you don't teach kids how to think, you just teach them what to think, then the kids never stop and go, wait a minute, well, there needs to be a discussion over this, and both sides need to be represented. And the media and the schools go, but there are no two sides. It's just that, that soylent 1,000-yard stare. So diversity and inclusion destroys games and movies and comic books and anything else, because it destroys storytelling, which is kind of the foundation of all those things. I guess it's the foundation of everything, really. People are tribal, and this is this big picture thing of what I've noticed in comics for years, and in movies even before comics, if you really put on the glasses, is this split between the concept of globalism versus the concept of nationalism, and you start seeing them go mask off with what they're trying to do. So people are tribal. In general, they don't value diversity outside of their tribe, but these global homogenization corporations keep pushing it. There's one that's really absolutely horrific. Oh, there you are. They keep pushing it, and the fat and ugly American aesthetic, and now it's just full mask off Moloch, as above, so below, androgynous, dual sex, demonic witchcraft. Which, speaking of psychops, that chick on the airplane with that MFer is not real, the lizard people, the reptilians or whatnot. So she's on Twitter now just like she's the latest psych op. Whatever she's selling, you don't want anything to do with it. Some kind of controlled ops, right wing in quotes, garbage product, and any right wing. Hey, it's a right wing phone. It's a right wing beer. Looks at the owners. It's like, press F to doubt. So there's something evil going on with the androgynous push. These people worship the sinister path, filth, corruption, obesity, chaos, the fat acceptance movement, the only movement that doesn't, because the dexterous path is fascism. It's clean, physically and spiritually fit, family and tribal. It has structure, and these disgusting string puller trolls hate beauty and order. Even if you're not conventionally religious, there's something else going on here. There's sort of an earth spirituality going on with these SJWs outside, like an older religion, it feels like, outside of the conventional Abrahamic stuff, where they're sick in their minds and spirit, and they use Bolshevism as a sunk cost investment, poison the well type of thing, where their sunk cost investment, it was like what we saw over the past 3 years, where 4 years, where people did something they regretted, and they wanted to get as many people in the same sinking ship as they are. Hashtag we didn't, hashtag pure blood for us. We didn't jump on that. Take this thing. No, I'm good. I'll wait for long-term studies. What, like 50 years, 100 years? Yeah. You're not going to be around. No shit. So they're fat, lazy, and they always trust the media and government. What happened to the left wing? If we make you scared, suddenly the media and government become trustworthy if they offer you a ticket out of that fear zone. Yeah, that's right. How are you on the left? So they're fat, lazy, and they want to redefine things. So fitness and beauty are fascist, and they are. But the brainwashing has Twitter SJW useful idiot kids think that that's a bad thing. It's not. It's just a system. To be fair, just like communism or socialism or anything else. This sounds a little tinfoil hat with a Pokemon game, but guys, we're dealing with shape-shifting interdimensional demons here. And to ascend to the higher spiritual planes, we need to defeat these globalists. It's like, I don't know, David Brenn's Uplift War, or that other guy who wrote Darwin's Radio, Greg Bear, I think. And these fat, ugly, androgynous video games, these characters, yes, it's in everything. Why do you think they're pushing so many ugly women in Hollywood now? Where they're pushing that Zendaya character, I think. She was in Dune. I didn't see the remake. She was Mary Jane in one of the Spider-Man movies. It's part of the humiliation ritual to see how far they can push things. Because the Coomer consumers never actually get together and decide to just stop playing video games or watch these stupid Hollywood movies. Dear God, that's friggin' horrific. Some of these are just little bits where there's a tilt of the hip and there's a hint of the waist going in, and then the thigh highs, and then they just take a little bit of a bit away to make it just a little bit less attractive. It's really subtle, but then you look at it, it just goes from fun and lighthearted to just a little bit of a blob. Part of it is the difference between the left and the right, like the global versus national concept. The left and the right-hand path is saying that there should be structure and order. Simply the aesthetics of saying, beauty is good just because we enjoy looking at beautiful things. Striving to make things complicated that work together. That right-hand path of order, and saying, having rules, and saying something even as simple as, obesity is not good. It has health issues. Like the aesthetics aside, it has objective health issues. The fat acceptance movement, there weren't any doctors who were on board that saying, this is a great idea, having 100 extra pounds of lard wrapped around your heart. No, it's just like you're going to have heart attacks, strokes, and cancer. It's been objectively studied for a long time. But that's kind of the difference between somebody putting their foot down and what the Bolsheviks have brainwashed the SJW kids into believing, is saying all they have to do is say something is istophobic, or it hurts my feelings. And you saying obesity is a bad thing, which it is, and physically fit people are, oddly enough, physically fit, attractive people are more likely to be on the right, which is like all these things are interconnected. There really is there really are like wheels within wheels with these people. But the idea of saying, you get physical fitness, we gotta get people, President's Council on Fitness, and they go, no, fat acceptance, because you're istophobic. It's like, that was one thing that was just a bridge too far for people, because people looked at the people who are huffing and puffing on stage at like 300 pounds, and people are going like, you're not selling this. This is just ridiculous. And like, you're istophobic. That doesn't mean anything. But oddly enough, like the thing that did catch on was the whole BLT kids, which is like one psych op after another. And you look at the BLT kids, and it's maybe that caught on because the parents that are helping their kids push it are getting, it's like, what a sick Munchkinson syndrome by proxy or something, where the parents themselves are getting the dopamine rush from their kids. And true, they're sacrificing their kids on the altar of Moloch, but at least they themselves are not, I don't know, have to be 300 pounds. It's sick, dark times. It's like all this from a Pokemon video. It's all related, dudes.